Should you buy the brand new American Professional Classic Telecaster? I've got everything you need to know to make the right decision. Hey, it's John here from Play and Trade Guitars, and if you like new guitar reviews and informative buyer's guides, hit subscribe and join this community of guitar players. You'll be glad you did. Today we're checking out the brand new American Professional Classic. It's made in America, and the way I look at this series, it's vintage inspired, but it's got modern playability, and it's a right down the middle, no nonsense approach to classic models like the Telecaster, which I just adore. I put it on the bench and pulled it apart, so we'll talk full specs before we plug it in and play it. And at the end, I'll give you my honest raw review to playing this guitar along with a final score. I'm gonna help you decide if this is worth your hard-earned money. And by the way, I have a comparison shopping guide coming up, so if it's not this guitar, I'll give you a few other great options to consider. And if you are in the market for any gear, shop new gear using my link. Why? It's a win-win. You get fast free shipping and easy, no interest payment plans. Trust me, it makes buying new gear way too easy. Check that out or scan this QR code. And lastly, you help me make these videos when you buy gear using my link. So thanks so much for your support. So nice no-nonsense features on this guitar. You got the Fender spaghetti letter in gold, modern truss rod adjustment, which is nice, but you got the vintage style slot tuner. So the hardware is generally going to be vintage. You got a beautiful rosewood slab fretboard with a maple neck. I love anytime Fender has this darker finish on the neck. The neck I would describe as kind of a satin finish, kind of a satin gloss finish, and it's gonna be a modern C-shaped neck. 1.69 inches at the nut, 0.82 inches at the first fret, up to 0.86 inches at the 12th fret. Rosewood fretboard, slab piece of rosewood, nice. Modern truss rod adjustment. Coming down to the body, you got an alder body here. Single coil pickups are Coastline 63 Telecaster pickups. Those measure 6.1 in bridge, 7.2 in neck. Flipping up the pick guard, you have a 3-ply pick guard routed underneath if you do want a mod for a humbucker and neck position, and even Nashville style with an extra single coil route in the middle. You can see all hand wired, standard CTS 250K pots, and then looks like a treble bleed circuit here. The one noticeable difference in this series that I'm finding is that the nut is a little wider. It's like actually like a Gibson width. It's like 1.69 inches. A lot of my Teles are 1.65, 1.64. So 1.69, you will notice that it's a slightly wider feel for the neck, but otherwise it's got these medium jumbo frets, which makes bending super easy in a modern radius. So while it looks like a vintage Telecaster, it plays like a modern Tele. I love this ashtray bridge with these notched brass saddles. The 3-barrel design is really a classic Tele thing, and I think it lends to the tone as well. Another thing that lends to the tone of a Telecaster is the string-through body. So strings through a slab, no fancy contours, just a good old hunk of wood. And one thing I love about a slab body guitar is the way that your arm can pivot and fulcrum, and it acts like a fulcrum on the edge of the body of the guitar. So I actually love a slab body guitar, even over the sexy contours of a Stratocaster, but that's just me. So you can drop a comment, let me know what you think of this guitar. Why don't we check out some other comparable options? I'll give you some more affordable options, and we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Now that this is out, and I believe it's replaced the American Performer series, do you go American Professional Classic or do you go American Professional 2? All right, let's dive in. Professional Classic Tele, $14.99, so just under $1,500. No hard shell case, it comes with a gig bag. You can also check out, this is really cool, you can watch my demo on the Hotshot Telecaster. But this Hotshot Telecaster from the same series is gonna actually have a Strat pickup in middle position. You will give up the traditional middle position on a Tele, which sounds incredible, and you'll hear in my demo, the traditional middle position of a Tele. Rhythmic, percussive, tight, really soulful, really funky. And I actually just love the traditional Telecaster configuration, but if you want to go nuts, you can check out the Hotshot. Now I'll show you a few other comparable options from low to high here. Starting with Fender Player 2, the redesign of the Player series is fantastic. You have true rosewood fretboards, modern playability, a lot like what we're talking about, except of course, these will be import guitars, and they'll have more modern bridges, 6-saddle design instead of the 3-barrel. But look at this, I mean, basically, you know, almost half the price at $839. Great series under $1,000, can't go wrong with Player 2. If you want the more vintage vibe, you can get the 3-barrel design in one of my favorite series, which is Ventera 2. This is the 60s Tele with a rosewood fretboard. The Ventera 2 Road Warrant is gonna come with a hard shell case, It's gonna come with a full nitrocellulose finish, which is something you'd find on like the much more expensive American Vintage 2 series. It's gonna have that vintage worn in vibe. So like even when you look on the back of the neck, it's gonna look like honest playwear back there. And you can check out my demo on this series. It's a little more than the American made counterpart. And if you're asking yourself if it's worth it to spend more money on a guitar that's made in Mexico, it is a very compelling guitar with the nitrocellulose finish if you like that road-worn look and the fact that it includes a hardshell case. But really the worthy comparison here is do we go American Pro Classic or do we go American Professional 2? This is a best-selling series and it's just fantastic for stage or studio. And it is the quintessential #1 recommendation that I've made in the past. And when someone asks me, okay, I want a professional grade Telecaster, what's the best one to buy? My answer traditionally has been American Professional 2. It comes with a hard shell case. It's got nice modern appointments like this contoured heel for easy access to the upper register. It's got the V-Mod 2 pickups. And I will tell you, I might actually, it's a toss-up, I might like the sound actually of the Coastline 63 pickups in this new series. They're a little more vintage. 12 months, 125 bucks, it's yours. And look at this, you even get free 1-day shipping, so check all that out. Now, let's get ready to plug it in. That's my absolute favorite part. I'll give you clean tones, we'll dirty it up, we'll let it sing behind a track, and on the other side, I'll give you my honest, raw reaction to playing this guitar along with the final score. Let's have some fun. All right, what did you think? If you watched my review of the Hotshot Telecaster with more bells and whistles, including the Stratocaster pickup in middle position, I gave you some trade-offs between these two. I wanted to demo just the straight-up Telecaster because, as I said of this series, this is the kind of series that if you walk into a guitar store and you look at everything on the wall and you look at all the different models that Fender offers, and it's like, look, I just want a straight down the middle Telecaster made in America. This is the perfect way to do it. And the comparable is going to be American Professional 2. I'm just telling you right now, you can't go wrong with either. Pro 2 will have the case, the contoured heel, and the VMod 2 pickups. This guitar is going to have the more vintage voice Coastline 63s and a gig bag, but you save some money as well, and it's made in America. I like the satin feel of the neck. And as we get ready to dive into the final score, I'll remind you I base the guitar score on 3 overall categories: overall playability, overall sound, and overall value. So let's talk playability first. I really like the modern shape of the neck. The satin finish feels nice. This is a poly finish on this guitar. I like the larger fret size, the modern radius. I like the fact that I can adjust the truss rod with the modern truss rod adjustment at the top of the guitar. Good weight, this was 7.7 pounds, so very comfortable to play, well balanced, and like I said, I like a good slab body Telecaster, just straight up, no nonsense. And from a playability standpoint, the only thing I noticed in the series is, again, it has a wider nut at 1.69 inches. Compare that to a typical Telecaster, many of them are like 1.65, 1.64 inches, so it's a little bit of a wider feel on the neck. I'll point that out. But otherwise, super well executed, very comfortable to play, and just a great experience on that beautiful piece of slab rosewood. So from a playability standpoint, I really have no complaints with this guitar. I'll point out the wide neck just so you're aware of it. Let's go ahead and give it an 8.8 on overall playability. Great weight too, very comfortable. Next is going to be sound, and I love these Coastline 63 pickups. They sound fantastic, they're vintage voice. I dig a Telecaster with that middle position. Percussive, funky, do some chicken scratching kind of a thing, and it's just unlike any other guitar. A Strat can't do that, and by the way, the Hotshot Telecaster can't do that either. So if you want middle position on a Tele, which I adore, you gotta get a straight up Tele to do it. And they went the right way on everything with the string through body, the 3-barrel design, which I think is a traditional thing that they were very smart to keep, and that lends to the sound as well. So I love the sounds, no nonsense, no push-pull, nothing, no extra bells and whistles. I dig that. I like it a lot. On a sound standpoint, it's what a Telecaster is supposed to sound like. I'm gonna give it a high 9.2 on overall sound. And then value, I think this deserves to rank pretty high in value. It's made in America. It's under $1,500 at $1,499. It does have a gig bag. Somebody pointed out in the comments, and they are right about this, that if you actually take the guitars out and gig them, it's much more common to bring a gig bag than it is a hard shell case. Now, if you're flying, it's a different story, but at least for getting to local gigs, it's actually more handy to have a gig bag anyways, rather than a big hard shell case, especially depending on how many guitars you're bringing. So somebody pointed that out, and I think I do agree with that. So it's not the end of the world that they don't include a hard shell case, but it's worth noting from a value standpoint. It's a good price. It's a no-nonsense Telecaster right down the middle. I'm gonna give it a high score of 9.2 on value as well. That's gonna bring us to a final score for the American Professional Classic Telecaster of 9.1. It's a A-rated guitar. I'd probably give just a tick in overall quality and overall package value, everything, to American Professional 2, but I don't want to split hairs because honestly, I would be happy to own either this guitar or American Professional 2 and play a gig tonight with it. I would be thrilled to own either guitar. I love the vintage aesthetic here with the modern playability. If you're in the market for this, shop gear using my link or scan this QR code and hit subscribe. Guess what? Gibson Les Paul, this one right over my shoulder, is going to you before the year is over. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so thanks to all of you, and make sure you're in it to win it. See you on the next review from Play and Trade Guitars. Make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're in it to win it, and you don't miss a single new guitar review. See you next time. Thanks for hanging, and keep playing.